blazing hot. Odd time horn hits, smoke and rhythm section. There must have been 15 people up on the stage. There was a percussionist, everything, including like 4 or 5 timpani. There were 2 drummers. There were 2 bassists. There were 3 keyboard players. There were 5 horns. It was just a ridiculously large band. And what I didn't realize was it wasn't just for thickness of sound, but it was for redundancy during some of those fast transitions. The transitions were so fast, you couldn't get it unless you had a redundant person on that instrument, case in point, 2 drummers. So this is how the 2 drummers' roles worked as I observed it. They'd be grooving, and drummer number 2 just sits there. And drummer number 1 is, and as soon as he takes a fill, drummer number 2 comes in and keeps time for drummer number 1 while he takes a fill, and then he lays out again. He just sits there. Whoa. So drummer number 1 is the guy until he takes a fill, and then drummer number 2 comes in and keeps time. That's all the guy did. And it was some young kid in his really early 20s, and he was just nervous as fuck. Everybody was nervous as fuck. This is James Brown's band. But anyway, they run the whole show, they get to the end of it, and all of a sudden you could hear a pin drop in the opera house. Just a pin drop.
Was in the
and
house.
So this is what you see coming from the wings of the stage. All right, fella. We gonna take this from the top. And the band just took off like a goddamn racehorse. I mean, just like that. You know, right in tempo. I mean, they're just gone. So the guitar player is sitting here.
He's got props for his story.
And he's yoking, right? And he hears something going on with his amp, and the band's still cooking. So, and he's this little white guy, and I don't remember what band he was from, but I recognized him from one of the, you know, like L.A. grunge bands from the late '90s or whatever. And he turns around, and he goes like this, and he keeps playing, right? And so James Brown didn't see it happen, but he heard it. And all of a sudden, his fist goes up like this. Bah! And the band just stops on a dime, right? And he turns around, goes over to the guitar amp, undoes what the little blonde white kid had just done to his amp, whatever it was. And he turns to him and he says, "Boy, you playing funk. You ain't got no time to mess with your knobs." And the band's just right off cooking again, right? Okay, so now hold both of your sticks in one hand.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so like I said, drummer number 1 plays everything until he takes a fill. And the minute he starts a fill, drummer number 2 comes in and takes over keeping time. Well, they were going through a transition like that, and drummer number 2 just fucked up. And the fist goes up, the band stops on a dime. And this is what James Brown does. And the band just goes right back into that. You know, that's my James Brown.